What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis. Today I have another charger review for you. This one is one that I requested from Banggood mainly because it is the Q8 Max and it will do up to an 8S battery, which is kind of crazy. It has a lot of power in this little guy. This one is also under $100, which is pretty sweet. I think it's around $89 on the Banggood website right now. And this one will do up to 1,000 watt, 30 amps out of this single channel on the side. You also have the 8S balance port on the side right here, which is kind of crazy. I haven't seen that before on any of the other chargers that I reviewed recently. And I have done a lot of chargers recently. We have the PD60 over here. That was that ultra small one. Does not have a fan on there, but it does have a little heat sink. So probably the most portable charger out there. And we have the Q6 Nano, which we checked out earlier. You can go back and watch that review. This one was actually pretty sweet for its size and price. And then we have the Q8 Max box right here, just a little bit bigger, and the Hoda dual port charger right here. And this one's around, I believe it's around 130 for dual port charging and wireless charging on the top. And that's one thing that the Q8 Max doesn't have, but if you want something that has a wireless charger and dual port from ISDT, they make that P30, and the P30 was on the channel I believe a couple weeks ago now. It's kind of like twice the charger of what the Q8 Max is, but this is kind of a medium range style charger, but it has big power for under $100. Let's go ahead now and put this one on the bench. Let's take a little closer look at it and I'll show you what features it has. After that, I'll give you my final opinion on this one. All right guys, first things first, inside the box you do get the Q8 Max instruction manual, and it's all in English here, and it's fairly easy to read. Inside you do get product specs, you get the function buttons, the layout of the power input and the output, the balance port on the side, and it also shows you the micro USB update port on here and the USB port for output. I believe it's like around 2.5 amp output, nope, 2 amp 5 volt output, and the DCN on this side, battery port on this side, balance port there. And the voltage range is pretty decent on here. We have around 10 to 34 volt input on the side there on the DCN side. There is no AC inside, as I mentioned before. You have to buy an adapter for that, but you can get them on Amazon or Banggood either way. I'll try to put a link down below, but today I'm going to use my 4S HV. This is a 5,000 milliamp. Just going to plug this in and you'll see it loads up. The screen is quite bright. You can change the brightness contrast in here as well if you want to. And we'll just go ahead and long press there. That will bring you into the system settings. This is where you can change up some things. The lowest input voltage is kind of important. Say you were at a field where you had a solar power bank and it was 12 volt. It will turn on and start charging. I had another charger recently that I had set a little bit too high, above 12 volt, and that does happen from time to time. You can go pretty far up here, all the way up to like 17, 18, and it's letting me keep going. So you can change the minimal input current all the way up to 31 volt, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to keep it to the default down here at 10 volt. And that way, if I go to my local airfield, I know it's a 12 volt storage battery and it's going to load up the charger. Otherwise, it'll say current too low and you'll be wondering why. So I'm going to press that again. Max input power looks like 1100 watt there. Backlight is high. Press in the middle to make a selection. I'm going to keep that like a little bit low. Actually, it looks better high. There we go. We'll keep it on high. Volume, I usually turn the volume down. I'm going to bring that down to low here because I don't like hearing all the beeps. And completion tone, repeat. That's probably good so you don't walk away from it and forget you're charging a battery. You should never leave your batteries alone, by the way. Touch slide is on, and that's this sort of thing here. We can go up and down like that. Pretty cool. Just if you want to be a little faster, and you can turn that off. And then language is set to English. You have a whole bunch of languages. The theme, bright, and it looks like we have a new theme for dark. That's kind of cool. I'll leave it on dark. I kind of like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and go up to the top again, and I can use my fast scroll up or down, or I can long press again, and that'll take me back to the main menu. And I kind of like this dark theme. That's kind of cool. That's some theme settings that I haven't seen before on some of the other ISDT chargers. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab the 4S 1300 that I have over here. Actually, I have a 1550. Let's go ahead and plug this in. And You can kind of use this as a battery checker as well. So we'll plug this balance board in first, and you see automatically it gives me cell detection there and how much balance I have going on. Looks like it's pretty balanced. And again, I'm always doing balance charge on all my batteries. So a safe charge rate for something like a 4S1550 would be, I usually do around 2 amp or 1.5 to 2 amp, and that'll give you a long battery life. It'll just last you a little bit longer. So single press will get us into the charge menu, and we can go up here to charge. We can change it from charge, discharge, storage, DC power, and destroy. It also has a destroy option. If you need to throw away a LiPo battery in the trash, that's how you're going to do that. We don't want to destroy this one though, because it's a brand new all line. I've been testing these, and these are actually really, really good, by the way. So I'm going to long press there a sec, and it should take me back to that regular menu here for my charging, and I can go up and change the battery chemistry. That just means what type of battery. LiHV, Li-ion, LiFe, PB, nickel metal cadmium there. Long press again for about 2 seconds, and it takes you back. Condition, we're going to charge 4.2 volt because this is a standard LiPo. If you had HV, you'd be charging 4.3. And then 4S, it's auto detect here. The current 5 amp, that's a little bit large for me. I like to go down to about, we'll just set it at 2. 2 right there, make your selection. And now I can start, or I can go back to the main menu. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that process for you. And now you see some information on here that's happening during the current charge of your battery. So we have 1.9 amp there, and that will fluctuate, and it'll get lower as you get to the last part of your charge rate. So now we're at 99% there. It shows us our time elapsed, how much we've put in for milliamp per hour, and it's charging 4S voltage, and then it shows us all of our cell telemetry there. So our cell settings. We have more information here if you want to just click up and down there. System info is nice. Gives us what we currently have in our power supply over here, 16.5 volt. And this one is pretty much done. This battery is charged. So you'll see it turn green like that. And we didn't put much in there. And the cell IR is kind of nice information to have as well. So now you can stop that just like that by long pressing in the center. And now this battery is fairly charged up to 4.2 volt. Now let's go ahead and set the Q8 max on the scale and see what we get here. For travel weight would be 283 grams. And let's just compare it to one of my favorites recently. This is the big Ultra Power Beast UP6 Plus, and that's 812 grams. So this is kind of a nice bench charger. It has dual port options for input on the back. It has an AC option, comes with a cable, and then you have up to 32 volts here. So very similar here, from 10 to 32 volts for the ultra power charger. Much bigger, but has a ton of features. This one is just under $200. I think it's around $160 for this one. But again, full size fan on the side, very industrial style charger. Now we'll take the Q6 Nano and put that on there, the lightest of the bunch with an actual fan, 115 grams, and the PD60, which has a heatsink, not an actual fan on there, and no screen. It's just kind of a super minimal charger, and this one's about $13, so the cheapest of the bunch, cheapest and the lightest, 81 grams there for that weight. Very, very lightweight. And just for fun, we'll set the Hoda on there, and this has been rebranded. It was originally a HobbyMate charger. That one's 578 grams, so that one's quite a bit lighter than the ultra power charger. So let's just wrap it up here real quick with the Q8 Max. I thought that this was pretty great for anybody that wants to charge 6S or bigger batteries for under $100. It's actually a pretty sweet deal. ISDT comes in with some superior quality to a lot of charger brands out there, and like I mentioned before on the channel, ISDT actually makes Spectrum's smart charger. So if you want a really pricey charger, you can go check out Spectrum's smart charging stuff, but honestly it's not needed. We have a lot of the same features in here on this charger as you do the more expensive chargers, and it's still actually pretty lightweight for how beastie it is. 1000 watt and 30 amp out of this channel is pretty amazing. So you also have the option again to make it a bench charger or a portable field charger, which is nice. And around the $89 price point, again, is pretty decent. And 10 to 34 volt, it's a pretty good voltage range on here too. So you have a lot of chargers to choose from out there. I think the Q8 Max is just filling in that sort of mid-range gap. If you want to go high end, obviously, if you don't mind spending a little bit of money, my recommended one is going to be the Ultra Power UP6 Plus. That is the dual port charger with the battery tester on the side. It has also a battery killer extension on the side here, and a servo and a motor tester. So and wireless charging for your phone on top, or any USB devices that have wireless charging, and the full size fan. This one's just a little bit more industrial feeling than some of the other one chargers. It's a very significant charger for what it is, and I think one of the nicer ones of the bunch, if you don't mind spending a little more money. But if you're looking for a mid-range charger, the Q8 Max is actually pretty decent. And if you want to go above that, you can try out the Hoda version, and this one is very similar to the Ultra Power. Some guys were asking me, oh, what's the big difference between the Hoda? You know, this one's around 130 and this one's quite a bit more expensive, but a lot of this has to do with quality control, and this is a little bit better quality than the Hoda, and this one does not have any servo testing or motor testing on here. So servo testing and motor testing is pretty important to some people that fly fixed wing. So yeah, it's nice to be able to charge and do motor testing and servo testing all on one charger. So it pretty much does everything and charges your phone wirelessly, which is nice. So out of these two, this is the budget one, and then this is just full on, pretty much awesome everything. So I appreciate you guys watching this review as always, and checking out just a few of these different chargers. Maybe we'll do a best of 2020 Lipo chargers coming up on the channel for you guys. But thanks again. I'm Justin Davis. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.